Hello. Hello. Can you hear me? Hello. 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 Yes, can you hear me? Hello. 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 Yes. Can you hear me? Yes, we have started. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, just type yes. Sati, can you hear me? If you can hear me, just type yes in the chat box on the right side. Hello. Yes, can you hear me? I want to start with some few questions. I want to ask Mr. Mohammed, are you into IELTS or you are already trained for IELTS, like preparation is going on from your side? Type in the chat box so that we can further. Get the sound. I hope, brother, now it's much better. Hello. All the people watching here, are they all new to IELTS or they have some type of experience in IELTS? You can use the chat box for reply so that we can interact even. Yes, Mr. Mohammed, are you new to IELTS or you have some prior experience in IELTS? Like you are already preparing for IELTS? I just want to have an idea on what level you are presently so that we can talk on that level. Okay, that's good. That's good, Mr. Mohammed. So basically, you are looking for. So are you preparing for academic purpose or for immigration? That is general. There are two types of IELTS exams, as you are well aware. Okay. The, that's great, brother. Good to hear from you about that. So basically, the academic is much on higher level compared to the general. So if it's general, you have some less preparation needed for going through this IELTS. So we have basically four modules in IELTS, academic as well as general. But the listening part as well as the speaking part is well same for both academic and general. So listening is the first module, sub module in the IELTS exam. So it the and the writing and reading part is much different for both the uh, academic as well as general. So general has a lesser level compared to the academic for writing and reading. So if we come to listening part, we have audio which is being played in the exam day, and the best way for the preparation for the self study is the IELTS previous examination papers. Okay, is it clear now? That is the Cambridge previous exams. Okay, that's good to hear. So the Cambridge ESOL examinations, previous examination papers, are the best source for preparing for the examinations. So along with this books, we will find a CD at the back, which will help you to practice the listening examination, the listening part. Mr. Mohammed, can I ask you a question? Like, have you been through this book, like the Cambridge previous examination book? It's a maroon and a black color, which is available in the market in India. It's pretty much available everywhere. So, have you come across this book? Okay, that's not an issue. You can find it for the preparation alongside with the classroom training. You will find it helpful for your own preparation. So basically, the listening part is only on your basis of your concentration. The more you concentrate, the better you can answer the questions. So initially, when the listening starts, it happens that the first few questions are of the very level, basic level types. Anyone who has a basic English language skills can answer that questions. But as we move along down the test in listening part, the questions become bit tougher and tougher. So it happens that when you start the listening part, it happens that there is a conversation, a telephone conversation between a client and a customer. So between a shopkeeper and a customer. So he spells the basic name with the spelling with the alphabetical order and the basic address and something like that. So as you move on, it happened that there is a conversation between a student and a mentor in a university. So you have to have some judging skills before you type, before you prepare to write the answers on the answer sheet. So you have a little time at the end of the listening part to transfer the answers to the main answer sheet. So one thing which we have to keep in mind always when we answer the listening part is that we need to be in a flow. As soon as we listen, as soon as we listen to the conversation, we need to be alert and we need to take down the missing words, and try to just jot it down as soon as possible. If in any case it happens that you miss a word or you cannot understand a sentence, you need to be still alive and just keep on moving, because if you are stuck, somewhere and try to just get to the particular answer, you will lose the further one or two questions, one or two answers. So that will lessen your score. So that's the main criteria in listening. For that to be enough to have a flow in during the examination, you need to practice it. The best way of practicing is to listen many times, listen to the audios many times, several times, so that you get to know the accent. Actually, the accent is basically a British accent, and the difficult part is the Australian accent. Is it making sense, Mr. Muhammad? Are you finding it something interesting, something worthwhile? The knowledge we are sharing with you? You can type yes in the chat box so that we can move further. Okay, that's good to hear, Mr. Mohammed. Moving forward, these are the basic skills needed for the listening part. And coming to the speaking module itself is a separate module of the total examination of IELTS. So the speaking module happens way before the main examination, or maybe it's after 2 to 3 days, a maximum of to 1 week of time. The speaking module is itself around 8 to 9 minutes, a total of 8 to 9 minutes. So in this speaking module, you have an interaction with the listener who will ask questions in the beginning. So when you get into the speaking module test, it happens that you introduce yourself and there is a general discussion before the actual session starts. So the listener, the person who is taking your listening, the speaking test will just introduce himself or herself. So after the introduction, the the test taker, he or she will say that now our actual session starts and this is being recorded. So once he or she plays the record button, he asks just introduce yourself. So we tend to just give our basic introduction to him or her, and it lasts for 1 minute or so. So then he have a slips, like 4 to 5 slips on different topics, and then he just spread out these slips in front of you and ask to pick any one topic of out of it. When you have picked this topic, you just have one more quiet minute, a calm minute, to just prepare yourself for this, to speak out to these person next to you. So in that case, you have a pencil and a paper, and then these topics can be anything from general to any specific. It can be anything. When we have this actual session, we will discuss about the particular topics which are being asked in the speaking test. So that is the cue card. Actually, these cue cards are in front of you, and you select one of the cue card and see this and prepare for 1 minute. That is a quite 1 minute for yourself. You will just write it down what you will be speaking about this. The cue card topics can be an exciting book. Say something about an exciting book which you have read recently, or you can be like the another topic which is in the cue card, maybe a car journey. Define a car journey which you enjoyed very much. There are a lot of topics. You will find these topics of speaking, which you will find in the cue cards. These topics, which we will be having in the actual test, are somewhat similar to the topics which you will find in the ESOL Cambridge previous examination papers. I hope this answers your question, Mr. Mohammed. Is it? Did you have any basic idea of what topic it may be during the speaking module, Mr. Mohammed? Okay, that's fine. That's good. So when you have this 1 minute preparation, then the listener will say that the time is up. You are finished with your 1 minute. You can start now. So he or she just keeps quiet, and you have 2 to 3 minutes of time to speak on that topic. So in the actual training, we will help you on how to answer this cue card answers, how you should prepare, how should be well prepared for answering this question in 2 to 3 minutes. So in this 2 to 3 minutes, they just look at your grammar, they'll just look at your accent, they just look at the pace, the fillers which you are using. The fillers are I see, you know. These type of fillers are also being calculated on how what frequency you are using these fillers during your talk. So once you finish this 2 to 3 minutes of talk, there is a small pause, and then it happens that whatever you have said about the topics, suppose you have said something about a place which you have visited recently, and then you have talked about how was the journey, how you spent days, how did you enjoy it, what happened when you were returning, or something interesting things which you have spoken. So on that basis, what you have said for 2 to 3 minutes, the listener will ask in-depth questions on particular topics. Suppose if you have said that I have visited so and so place, so he will or she will ask you a question related to it, saying that do you find helpful or do you find that it must be that oneself should travel so that he gains a lot of perspective in the outer world. And questions are similar to your topic what you have spoken about. They will ask a deeper questions. They will just scrutinize your in-depth knowledge of it, and at the same time try to calculate, try to analyze your grammar, the speaking power, the accent, and the flow of words. So there are a lot of parameters on which they calculate, they give the score of speaking to you. So during our actual training, we will get to know the techniques and tips how to tackle the speaking second level questions. So this is all about speaking module. So we have completed 2 modules, and moving further, we will still have 2 modules left. One is the writing, and another is the reading. So if we come towards the writing module, you have 2 tasks in writing modules, task 1 and task 2. In task 1, we have 20 minutes of time, and for task 2, we have 40 minutes of time. So, a task 1 is usually a letter written to a general administration office or any public officer asking to solve any of your issue, any of your problem. So, if you take task 1 example, uh, it says that write a letter. A friend has agreed to look after your house and pet while you are on a holiday. This is general description. They are just getting you in the scene at what exactly is the scene they have created for you. And on that basis, they say the next write a letter to your friend. In your letter, they give 3 bullet points. These are the hints what you have to include in the letter. So this could be like give contact details for when you are away, or give instructions about how to care for your pet. You have some instructions you follow. On that basis, you have to give the same instructions to your friend as how to care for your pet. Maybe it's a cat, so you give the food at certain timings. So you need to just put it down in the letter that these are all the timings on which you give the food to your cat. And the last bullet point or the hint point is describe other household duties. Like maybe apart from this duty of taking care of the pet, there are some other household duties which needs to be catered when you are away. So you just mentioned that also. Maybe you have an electricity bill when you are away. So you can say that you have to pay this electricity bill by 7th of the month on the day which I am away from my home. So you should at least write 150 words for this letter. At least that means you should compulsory write 150 words minimum, and it should be a maximum of near to 200. It should not exceed 200, and it should not be an essay instead of a letter. So you should calculate a letter that at least you have between 150 to 200 words. That's an ideal letter number of words for a letter. So you should also have a calculation of your time because it's only 20 minutes for this letter. So you should not indulge in writing a letter for more than 20 minutes, which will lessen your time for the next task 2. Okay, so this is a brief about task 1. Coming to task 2, when you finish 20 minutes of task 1, you have task 2, which is of 40 minutes. So in the 40 minutes task 2, you are giving a following topic. Suppose you have been given a topic of some people believe that teaching children at home is best for a child's development, while others think that it is important for children to go to school. Discuss the advantages of both methods and give your own opinion. It's actually a paper-based test, and in some countries it's computer-based as well. And here in India, it's a paper-based test, so it's pretty much easy or much convenient to write a paper-based test, and you have a pencil. So it's like if you have any type of mistake, you have eraser to rub it off, and just try to rectify the problem then and there, and try to find your sentences as much as possible in the given time. So in the task 2, this is the topic which I have discussed, that they say they define a scenario in front of you saying that people go for schooling or people go for homeschooling, and they then just try to differentiate this both the categories and say that discuss the advantages of both methods and give your opinion. And we should have my opinion, like what method do you prefer compared to the other one. So you should have reasons for your answers and include any relevant example. If you have any example in your mind which you have gone through or which you have heard before, you should include that relevant examples uh, in your task 2. So that will give a weightage. And the maximum number of words or the minimum is at least 250 word, at least. That means when you start a task 2, you have to at least write 250 words, not less than that. And it can be up to 300 words, a maximum of 300 words. So the details of how to structure this task to the essay, how effective, how beneficial it can be for a reader to have a good impact on them so that he can give you a good score on this task. That all we will discuss during the training, and we will practice a lot of task 1 and task 2 tasks during this training. Mr. Muhammad, do you find helpful until now? Did you find something beneficial? Do you have value for your time till now? Whatever knowledge we have shared with you, type yes in the chat box if it's like it has made some impact during the last half an hour. That's good. That's good, brother. Good to hear. Good to hear. Excellent. So by now we have gone through the three sub modules of the IELTS general exam, and the last we will be discussing is the reading module. So in the reading module also we have 1 hour of our time for completing this reading general training reading section task. So in this we have questions of 1 to 14, and we have 1 to 8. Like they give any, what to say, and bullet points, like for example a procedure for evacuation. There's a building, and when something harmful happens or some fire alarm goes off, there is a procedure for evacuation. So on that basis they give at least 10 to 15 points, and we have to read it very carefully. And once we have read it carefully, we have to answer the questions from 1 to 8 in the answer sheet. So this reading section will actually take a lot of time for practicing because it's very dry compared to the other sub modules, the listening, the speaking, and the other module itself, what we have done just now. So the reading requires a lot of practice, and this can be only explained in detail and a very helpful way during our training, the LTS training actually which we will be having. So the first 8 questions will be like choose not more than 3 words. So whatever the sentence is given, we have to just think over from the previous paragraph which was given for us to read and come over with the answers. And you should not write not more than 3 words. And from questions 9 to 14, we have a statement on which we have 3 options: true, false, and the third is not given. So we have a paragraph at the top, and we have to read very carefully and answer the questions from 9 to 14 on that basis. And we need to just analyze that whether this statement which is given as a question is a true, it agrees with the information given, if it's true. And if it's false, then the statement contradicts the information. And the third category, which is very much, what to say, very hard task, a tough task is to answer this question if it's not given. So there are techniques on what basis we need to analyze whether the topic is what it's asking is true, false, or not given. Then comes more tougher part, the section 2, and it has questions from 15 to 28. And in this 15 to 28, we have questions 15 to 21, and we have 7 sections, and we have headings altogether more than 7. And maybe there are 10 headings, and we have to answer 7. We have to give 7 headings out of 10. So we have 7 paragraphs, and out of these 10 headings, we have to give an accurate and appropriate heading to the questions they are asking below. So we have different techniques to analyze how perfect a heading should match to the paragraph which is mentioned below. So this we will discuss in detail during the training session. Coming to the last part, and this is questions from 22 to 28. And there is a big paragraph which is being mentioned around 300 words. So in this first section of this last task, we have few questions again which says that choose no more than 3 words for this answer. So we have to just read this entire paragraph, try to understand what it's all about, and then try to answer these few questions not more than 3 words. Subsequently, we have a different type of questions wherein again we have appropriate letter to be marked for the question they are asking. And then comes the section third, and then again we have subsections in that A, B, C, D, and there are paragraphs up to H. And on that basis, we have 29 to 35 questions, and we have the questions a word from that paragraph, and then we have to just analyze whether this word is being said in which paragraph. This is something of we need to deeply analyze, because this words in is used the same word in 3 to 4 paragraphs, but we need to just come out with a single paragraph which is exactly matching this word. So this is all of the practice. The more you practice, the better you get. So we need to just have good techniques to answer this answers very accurately. This which we will doing in the actual training of IELTS. So as per your question, Mr. Mohammed, you are asking difference in general and academic syllabus. The main difference between general and academic is general is bit easy compared to academic. Academic is on a higher level. We need to have more time for preparing for academic, and that is mainly for master's degree for Australia, Canada, and presently USA also is accepting IELTS scores for post graduation courses. And coming to the actual general and academic syllabus, the syllabus of academic and general is same for listening as well as speaking. Listening and speaking is same for academic as well as general. The only difference is between writing and reading. The writing and reading is totally different for academic and totally different for general. So this is the main difference between academic syllabus and general syllabus. Did I answer your question accurately, Mr. Mohammed? Are you satisfied with my answer? If you are satisfied, then just type yes so that we can move further. Okay, that's good to hear, brother. Good to hear. Fantastic. So by now we have completed all the four sub modules of IELTS general examination, and moving forward, we will just wrap up in 2 to 3 minutes of time, a maximum of 5 minutes. So first, I want to ask you any questions during the description what I have described about the IELTS exam. If you have any type of question, do let me know. You can just type on the chat box so that I can answer you and clarify the doubts you have. It can be anything. You can ask anything which I have not even touched, or you can ask something which you have not got any clarification. So we can just okay, that's fine. So you have during the course of explanation, you have asked doubts you have. So that's good. So I would just want to know, like Mr. Muhammad, in which area you are living in presently? You are residing in which area? You can type here in the chat box your area in which you live. Are you in India or you are outside India? Okay, so you are basically from Hyderabad. What I get to know, is it right? So Himasagar, as such, what I am pretty sure is that it's from Hyderabad. Okay, that's good. Fine, fine. So I'm also from Hyderabad, Eternal Success Academy. It's an academy wherein you discover yourself through various means. There are various means on which we work for. We work for counseling services. We work for personal development coaching. We work for many other sources. So, is it feasible or possible for you to come down to the academy itself for one-to-one coaching for the physical coaching, or is it like you are not so much convenient? It's not convenient for you to go to and fro from the academy back to your place. It's in Charminar area. Basically, it's Moghalpura. I hope you have heard about Moghalpura area. So it's very near to Charminar. So this academy is basically located in Moghalpura area, and which is very much known place, and it's easy to find the academy. I want to ask one very interesting question to you. Like, when are you planning to have this IELTS exam? When are you planning to take this IELTS exam exactly? Accordingly, we can plan, or accordingly, you can plan for yourself, and you can decide which is the better option for you. So, just let know on the chat box, like when exactly you are planning to take this examination, because accordingly, you need to have preparation and take a date wherein you are well prepared off to just go and write your the best examination for your career, for your immigration purpose. Fee is also one of the matter to be discussed, which will discuss at last. But thing is that if you are just comfortable with other parameters, we can talk about this fees as well for sure. So you have certain dates or certain months on which you are planning to take this IELTS examination. That's good. That's good. Good to hear, brother. Canada is an awesome place. It's a good place for living. It's a good place for earning, and obviously, it's very much near to USA. So a lot of opportunities there from Canada to USA. So it's a good decision, and I hope that you get in the right direction with right timings and land there with your planned timeline. So I want to ask this question, like you have any certain month of during this 2018 you have planned certain month on which you will be taking the IELTS examination so that we can. My schedule for this preparation is exactly 4 weeks. 4 weeks. So just to divide this every week for one sub module in general, but again it all depends, like it can be for some module a lot of time and for a little less than that, but in overall we will be teaching this IELTS general preparation for 4 weeks. So just give me a little brief idea, like you are preparing for this IELTS in a short time or it's a long term goal, whether you are planning maybe in next 3 months or whether it's 6 or more than 6 months, just a general idea. If you are saying it's 3 months, write 3 months, or if it's not 3 months, then write like 6 months or more. Okay, fine, fine. So for you, it's a long-term goal. That means it's not before before the end of this year. Maybe this is May, and it can be only after October, or it can be only after November. So that will be around 6 months of time. So you are in MBA second year, or you are in first year MBA? So Mohammed, are you in second year of MBA? Okay, second year. That's fine, fine. So I think you have one more complete academic year, so that you plan to have only after around 6 months of time. So anyway, it's all your decision. It's like left last term. That's good. That's good. We hope that you come out with the flying clovers with good results. So we wish you all the best for your examination for your last sem. So coming to the last part and the most important part, obviously, uh, the remuneration part. The remuneration is if it's the classroom training, if it's a classroom training and that is full fledged 6 days of a week, and the training duration is 1 to 1.5 hour, 1 to 1.5 hour every day, Monday to Saturday. So for this Monday to Saturday, 1 to 1.5 hour every day for 4 weeks, the cost of this training would be the classroom training will be only and only 7,000, and that is, I am sure, pretty much very less compared to the outside market. If you have gone through to other training IELTS institutes, you are well aware of what is the fees of this training. So this is about the one-to-one classroom training. And if you find it difficult for coming all the way from your place to my place for training, we have the second option of online training. The training which we are, this session which we are going through, a better, more better version of this we will have for the online training. So we will have a blackboard, we can have a discussion, we can have training on the online mode. So, which training will be more appropriate for you, whether it's a classroom training or an online training? Which would be preferable for you as per your duties and responsibilities in day to day time? Online. Okay, fine. Online is also a good option because wherein you will have you at the convenience at the ease of your home environment. You can just start over within no time. There is no transportation timings wasted, and they are also. And the good thing is that once you are in Hyderabad, because you live in Hyderabad, for sure during the online training, when you have some clarification, some doubts which you are not able to find it easily available by yourself, you can come down to our academy in a week time, in 2 weeks time, and try to clarify it. This is always available, and this, and you are always welcome to have to come over to our place and clarify your doubts. So, do you find this options very helpful? Very, do you find this offers very beneficial for you, Mr. Muhammad, particularly the online one? Like, just let me know, like, how better you feel about this. Yeah, okay, that's what I wanted to know. Like, online is also beneficial. The option which I have described you and mentioned, like how the online training will go. The online will also be same 1 hour to 1.5 hour every day, Monday to Saturday, and it will be for 4 weeks. And the offer, this is the best offer. I would say that you will find this is the best offer you will find in the city in Hyderabad, wherein you will have online training, and that too in such a lesser price. Uh, your question is what to do for online training. We will have a platform wherein we will have this type of webinar every day, and we will have a blackboard wherein we will describe, we will mention, we will just teach you the ways of how to tackle the all these four sub modules, the same as we do in the classroom training. There will be no as such no difference in the training facility. So this is all about the classroom one-to-one training and the online training. And the price for the online training will be little higher compared to the physical one. And it's always this case when it comes to online training. The online training is little higher, little maybe not little. There are very higher prices for the same training which is given online and which is given in classroom. But for this particular course, for this training session, for this batch, we will have only a minor difference of online training compared to the classroom, and it will be only and only 8,000. So this is the price for the online training, and as I mentioned, it will be 7,000 for the one-to-one classroom training. So it's all as per your ease and your choice, what is preferable for you, so that you can decide. And this offer, which is made today, it is valid for next 3 days. Today it's Friday. Friday is finished. So it's Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So this offer is valid for 3 days, and you have full 3 days to just think over and decide as what will be your next action plan for in IELTS preparation. So, Mr. Mohammed, I think you are the only one which were interacting throughout this session. People were coming in and people were coming out, and they were trying to listen and they were trying to leave. So, but you were the most dedicated person in this webinar, and so it all depends on your decision, what you think of, and I'm sure that this is a pretty much beneficial and very good offer for you to take action on this. And you have 3 days for this. And once you are making a decision to take this IELTS preparation, do let me know. I have my contact number. I'm just pasting on this chatbot. And if you can also share your contact number, and we can have, if anything in future we have which will be of relevance for you relating with English proficiency or IELTS, we can send you the updates during your WhatsApp. Okay, fine. So you will discuss with your brother and we'll call you. Not an issue. You are most welcome. We, as such, are always here to help the people for discovering themselves better in much better way. And we look forward to work with you. And it was very nice time with you. It was very interactive session, Mr. Mohammed, with you. And hope to see you soon, inshallah. And with this, we will try to just come to an end of this session. And we hope to see you all who were in this webinar. Thank you very much and Jazakallah khair. It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure, Mr. Muhammad, to have you on my webinar today. Jazakallah khair, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.